Right, hopefully we get some people on. Right, Tooth Fairy, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday to me anyway, but yeah, thank you. I'll put this on my actual face now rather than the skeleton. I just thought that'd be funny as a little video thumbnail thing. Thank you, Brighthole. Alright, Shabby. Alright, Weird Pringles chip. Alright, thank you. I don't know how long I'll be on today because there's like a chance today I'll have relatives and all that coming around to say hello. So, here, Giorgio. Thank you as well. Thank you, Rocky. Yep. I've got an outfit for the skeleton he's going to be wearing soon, but I'm hoping it arrives in time for Halloween. Because if it doesn't, then it will be a bit annoying. It will still be good to have him dressed up in it. You can actually probably check and see when the postage estimate is for it. Estimated delivery tomorrow to Saturday. So yeah, it should definitely come before Halloween. It's a Scott FRR on him, yeah, because you can see it's got the like not the GSR style plug and the 40mm on there. But yeah, so but the uniform hasn't got anything to do with a Scott FRR. It's just this is one of the few masks that actually fits the skeleton head quite well. Because the problem is with some of the masks is that sort of the strap systems or whatever don't work with a skull head. My name is not Isaac. No, I've never said my name is Isaac. Is Barrow Trauma the one where it's... Oh no, Barrow Trauma... Is that like a side-scrolling one? I was thinking of Iron Lung just then. Depending on what size GP5 you get, yes, because it doesn't have straps. It just uses basically elasticated rubber. Yeah, no, exactly the same feeling here, CM. All right, yeah. I think once you have it, it's not too bad, but the problem is at the moment, it's like everybody I know, like went out with some friends yesterday and that was good. But everybody I know at the moment has literally got like colds and everything else. Yeah, Brighto, because the FRR, as far as I'm aware, was only made sort of like a, like contract sold to like companies and things like that and individual sales. So it ended up being a much higher quality mask. Yeah, it's actually older than the GP5, as in that the M41 or Shum 41 is the mask the GP5 actually came from, not the other way around. But yeah, like I said, it's a pretty good mask actually. It's like if it's the GSR just about has a bit of a better build quality on it. But yeah, as said, I don't know how long I'll be on today, just because I'm expecting that some of my relatives might want to come around a bit later and say hello, so I don't want to be streaming for too long in case they turn up, and I'm streaming so they can't see me. But I thought I'd do a stream about now and then, later in the day, get all the other stuff done. Thank you, Kekok. Or Kakok, however your name's pronounced. Yeah, I'll just check nothing's downloading in the background, though, that's going to damage the connection. Yeah, it does weird Pringles chip. Bear in mind, when I started this channel, I was 18, so that was 12 years ago. And person without a name says happy birthday, so I can't say your name to thank you back. But yeah, at the moment, like I said, it was one of those weird things where as you get older, you actually do a lot less for your birthdays, just because as you get older, and all your friends and you have like real life stuff, it gets much harder to organise stuff. So as I said, it was nice yesterday to see a couple of mates and spend the day together, but I had to do it on a Sunday because a lot of them were working, like 9 to 5 or even longer. Actually, I think one of them works like 6:30 to like 5 or whatever. But yeah, thank you to everybody saying happy birthday. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't really know what to talk about. So if people want to bring up a subject, bring up a subject. At the moment, like I said, it's just the sort of thing where you know. Oh, same day, October the 23rd. Not that I can. There's a load of cool things, CM, in terms of like videos when I get time to do them. Like Hype gave me a bow, which is really nice, or a second bow. He also for my birthday got me an action camera that's really good. But in terms of like a lot of stuff, there's still a couple of gas masks I've not got around to doing videos on. But a lot of the stuff annoyingly ends up being when I get time to film stuff with work. And I've like had an annoying sort of week last week where even though I've had the weekend just gone, booked off work, one of the days of seeing friends, and like the other day there was just stuff on. So I've ended up having like one of those weeks recently where I've not had much time for YouTube, even though I've had a bit of spare time, if that makes sense. Not so much today, Sadank. I saw a load of friends yesterday because, yeah, annoyingly, as you get older, good luck arranging to do stuff on your actual birthday when people have jobs and that. It ends up just being you have to pick a day nearest your birthday when other people end up being free, or else you'll like not ever do anything. So I did that yesterday. Spent the day with a couple of mates, just doing stuff. But for today, not really. No, just having a lazy day. What's Capita is in SE? I don't understand what you're on about. Something special edition, is it? What? I'm confused now. Yeah, cheers, little pickup. Sadly, until I think you're completely living on your own, that's not very hard to achieve. But I was quite pleased when I went to one of my mates' places he's renting recently. He's got a really nice place for like the money he's paying for it, so he's kind of lucked out on rent. But sadly, there's not an extra spare bedroom there. Otherwise, I'd easily happily pay like a third of the rent for where he is. Where's the skeleton? It's right there. Skeleton's how I feel inside. I'm still quite confused what you're on about, Shabby. Just saying about random places in the UK now. I don't. Southeast. Well, London is just basically the middle south of the UK. It's not really the southeast. I suppose it's not too far from Essex, which is on the east coast. But yeah, it's not got a GP5 on. The GP5 doesn't really fit it. Have I played Counter Strike 1.6? Yes, I have. And Condition Zero, and Counter Strike Source, and Global Offensive, and now Counter Strike 2. But yeah, I think 1.6 is in some ways quite good in terms of it's aged very well. Yeah, sadly, not as many playing Condition Zero. I guess most people either do 1.6, Source, or 2 now. It's sort of split people playing them. Oh, the capital of Sweden. What, Helsinki? No, that's Finland. Stockholm. You love in the northeast, or you live in the northeast. So you live where it's a lot darker and sort of, you know. Have I been to the Netherlands? I'm trying to think if I've ever been over the border to it when I've been in nearby countries, but I've never specifically gone there. No. Thank you so much, Gasmar. So I know your channel. Hope you're all right. Um, yep, you got some good videos, even if they're not in English. Well, I still watched a lot of them, but yeah. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I suppose Sam Hain is actually pronounced, isn't it? Samhain, I think, in like actual proper Irish pronunciation, like the sort of Celtic one. Thank you. I actually tidied it up slightly the other day because it was looking very trampy, you know, where it's sort of half connected to a scruffy beard sort of thing. So I did shave properly the other day. Not so much life-threatening, but I've had to use one once or twice when I've been cleaning stuff at work, you know, in poor ventilated areas, because otherwise you just get like horrible headaches and sore throats from cleaning chemicals. Oh yeah, when COVID was on a lot of the time, yeah, I did wear like at least half-face respirators shopping, but because now every time I've gotten COVID in the last year or so, it's ended up like a cold. I don't bother. Yeah, thank you, David. But yeah, for the most part, I've just used them when I've been like working in places where it's been like really like, you know, like where you're in a place where there's really bad ventilation, and then you need to use either like, you know, strong cleaning chemicals, or it's a place of like loads of dust and particulates. So, you know, you can either protect yourself from breathing in lots of dust and horrible stuff, or you can you know, like same with the chemicals, just not get a horrible headache or whatever. The PMG gas mask, if I put that on a skeleton, wouldn't look that different, but I don't know if it would stretch over very well. That's the only thing. Because, like I was saying, the main problem with that skeleton is because obviously a plastic skull of a head doesn't have anywhere near as much flesh on it for obvious reasons and muscle. A lot of the masks don't fit very well because it's sort of, you know, it's much smaller than the size of masks I'd have, and the straps don't. If you're on about what gas mask is on it, that's a Scott FRR with the 40mm one, not the like the GSR of the twin things. If you got a small enough size PBF, yeah, like with most of the Soviet sort of helmet masks, design masks, with like stretchy rubber, they would fit it. It's just a case of getting a mask small enough because, like saying, the problem is with that skeleton head is, as you can probably see from the side, it's completely different than if you actually had a head with like flesh and fat and everything on it, fat, muscle, and all that stuff. So if you've got a mask that is small enough and goes up tight enough, it sort of fits. Was I shabby? I don't know which Fred that was. You have to actually, not Fred. What stream that was? You'd have to get on it. We were probably doing it in Phasmophobia. Were we laughing about something? What about fan filters iron? I don't understand. If you're saying if there's like iron filings in the air, could certain mask filters filter those? Yes. But in games, I don't. Not games. In reality, I don't normally work with iron filings or any of those. It's more like bleachy type chemicals I work with when I'm working. You know, like really strong disinfectants and things like that. Oh, you're a fan from what, when I did COVID videos in 2020? Okay. Yeah, like that was the thing. COVID was really good, at least for me, in terms of people found the channel because people were all of a sudden interested in masks. But a load of people just then, as soon as COVID wasn't massively in the news anymore, just didn't carry on watching, which is the problem. All right, thank you, Jason. Like I said, I won't be on too long today just because again, there's a chance I might have relatives coming over a bit later. Thank you, Sean. I feel like an old man now. If it's proper sunburn, there's probably not much you can do, VJ, if like the mask has gone like, a brownie colour because of ultraviolet. I mean, in theory, I don't know if you gently rubbed at the mask with like an eraser, if you could get like the very top layer of rubber off. But yeah, when a mask is essentially stained colour, all you can really do is get the top layer of rubber off. Yeah, but the thing is, the scariest gas mask video is at least a video that constantly gets views. Although, again, now prioritizing shorts a lot more. So I find if I upload a short, like a 50-second video, they tend to get a lot more views than the videos I spend ages making. Thanks, Vinny. Even so, that's the annoying thing for me, at least. That with how YouTube's algorithms work now, you're kind of encouraged to make really short little clickbaity videos, not proper videos. That one was on eBay. It's from an old firing range type thing from somewhere in Eastern Europe. So it's like a road sign one, and then it was one where they had different sort of ones available, and that was the gas mask one, which I guess just meant chemicals or like masks in this area. Like there were lots of ones that like explosive symbols and things like that, but I guess it was somewhere like on a training range. Those are the road signs put up to indicate when you were meant to be wearing a respirator or something. Cheers, Visa. Yeah, again, I know it is because of TikTok, but it's annoying if that's sort of not the content you make. But yeah, everybody wants really short content, don't they? Because again, like the thing that annoys me with YouTube is there's so many channels like I'm subscribed to where I don't actually get notifications that they do videos anymore. A bit like a lot of people say with my videos, they didn't get notified when I did a certain video or whatever. So I constantly get that annoying thing that I don't realize a channel I like watching their content with has done a video in ages, just simply because of the fact that YouTube's just not notified me. So yeah, like I said, that's a bit of a pain because it's just a case of oh, I've got Hunt Showdown in my Steam library, but I don't think I've got it installed because it uses up a lot of HDD space. But yeah, I like the look of Hunt Showdown because it looked quite a bit like sort of Red Dead 2 as well. It looked kind of, like a sort of Wild West, but with monsters in sort of thing. But yeah, that's the main problem for me at the moment is just hard drive space because more and more games really need to be on an SSD now, not a HDD. And obviously, in this PC, I've got an SSD specifically for Windows, and then I've got one that was like 2 TB for games, but that means you can't fit that many games on it anymore. What's add an M2? But but at some point I do plan on just getting a new PC because the problem is obviously with this one is I've got the same issue like with older PCs when you get them where like bits of the motherboard just become outdated. Well, like I say, what my current plan is just basically at some point buy an entire new PC and then just cannibalize parts from this one that are still good. Because my CPU is still fairly good and my GPU is nearly top of the line. But again, it depends on like the pricing of stuff. Because like the problem is with this one is like I've still got like issues with this one where I don't really want to carry on using this for too much longer. Where I've got like dead USB slots on the motherboard. So like over time, this one is kind of bits of it are dying, which isn't easily replaceable hardware. So I think in theory, I just want at some point when it's not too expensive, get a decent new PC. Yeah, but Windows XP is great, Jason. Yeah, but again, there's no point just replacing the motherboard. That's what I'm getting at. That it gets to the point where it's a bit like trying to keep a car going when it's like getting old. Cheers, Big Brain Gaming. Like, because that's the thing. I've done that with PCs before, and then you always hit a bottleneck of something that you can't replace that ends up, ruining your system. So that's what I'm saying. I'd rather just keep using this one while it's working well, and then when I can get a new decent system for a good price, buy that, and then maybe just move my GPU over or something. But yeah, again, I don't really see the point in replacing a motherboard, because that's like the thing everything plugs into. Once you're replacing your motherboard, you might as well just be getting a whole new PC at that point. Thank you, Hype. Still haven't had a chance to have. Well, I've tested the action camera out with just using it like a regular camera. But yeah, once all the attachments arrive, that's when I'll actually try and do a proper video of it. Yeah, thank you. The FRR is weirdly one of the only masks I've found so far that fits it properly, where like the eyes look out and everything. Because the problem is with the skeleton head, like I was saying to people earlier, is it doesn't actually really fit well with a lot of masks, because obviously most masks are designed that there's like tissue, fat, muscle, and everything like more rounded head shape. So when you try and put them on the skull, they just do not line up properly. Do I have airsoft guns? Yeah, there's the G36 box in the back. I can't show airsoft guns on the stream because that's against YouTube guidelines now. You can watch regular videos of them in, but I can't pick them up for a stream. Oh yeah, thank you, Snoz, as well. What, YouTube? Lovely site. Because if you meant site as in something to look at, that would be GHT, wouldn't it, rather than SITE? But yeah, the problem is with YouTube, like a lot of things, is that they've just got more and more restrictive over the years of like what you can and can't do on videos. But again, the weird thing is all the stuff that is fine for a video but not a stream. That's the kind of stuff I don't get. And again, I know that they always make some reason for it, like it's because people could see something live that would be taken down if it wasn't a live stream or whatever. But I don't really get that argument. I have no idea. I was playing a bit more of The Last of Us Remastered earlier on New Game Plus. Because the actual cool thing about that on New Game Plus, which I didn't realise till I got a bit further into it, is lots of the ammo for the late game guns in the New Game Plus thing, actually, they start appearing before the point where you find the guns. So if you're, doing the thing where you've carried over all your guns and whatever, so like you start the game with the M4 or whatever it is, and like the flamethrower, you'll actually find flamethrower and M4 ammo, like not very much, but now and again in earlier game parts, so the gun isn't completely useless. I could do Vinny. It depends when it's properly cold for winter, because at the moment we're still in autumn. But yeah, I've got a coat that I quite like that I got recently. So that might be in a winter EDC video. I've got some stuff coming that's a surprise when I get it dressed on the skeleton. I hope it comes before Halloween. As for what's I was going to say weekday, not weekday, but stuff like saying one of the things I've got I don't mind saying about is a Greek M65 jacket. Because with the Greek M65, that's quite good because it's like an M65 jacket, but it's in a really cool camo pattern Greek lizard. Sort of wanted to, Jason, because a lot of my family did, but I'm medically unfit to serve, and I won't go all into all that sort of stuff at the moment. But the problem is with me that I'm almost falling apart internally. But favorite season, either autumn or winter, because I get hay fever. Autumn and winter is where my hay fever doesn't normally get set off by much, so that's good. And I think autumn probably more than winter, because it's at that nice kind of temperature where it's a bit chilly but not actually properly cold. But the reason I prefer cold weather to warm weather is when you're cold, you can just put more layers on. Unless it's really, really extremely cold. But for the most part, but when it's like, a 30 Celsius day or whatever, you can't wear many layers at all. And you'll get to the point where you're just too hot, but there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas when it's cold, you can always just wear like more thermal underlayers and stuff like that. What, because you've got hay fever? Yeah, I'll be on a few more minutes, but like I said, today I won't stay on for that long, just because, as I said, there's a chance that like I might have relatives either turning up to wish me happy birthday, the ones that live locally, or like phoning up, and I don't want to be sort of not around if they turn up, sort of thing, because I'm streaming. So I don't want to be on too long today. Oh, that's really cool, especially yeah, because like you're saying, because that's actually like a digital thing, isn't it? That's really cool. Because yeah, my was it Canon or Panasonic? I'm trying to remember the brand of like my camcorder. That's really good in terms of low light for what it is. Like it's not proper like night vision here, but I'm amazed, if you go to the like lower frame rate, low light mode, just how well it amplifies light. What sort of frame rate? Yeah, that's the one. Like, what sort of frame rate do you get with that? Is that just for like still images, or is it for like just low frames? Because there's very few cameras I've seen that can do like 30 FPS, like camcorders in low light and still look good. Gloves Russian. What gloves Russian? I don't have Russian gloves on. Are you a knife thrower? No. Weapon collector that sometimes comes on. Mike's quite good at throwing knives. I'm sort of one of those people that can sometimes throw them all right, and then everyone was bounced because it doesn't hit blade end. But again, I know with knife throwing, there's like knives that are easier to do it. You start off with quite close to a soft target, and then you work your way back a bit further, then work your way onto harder knives. But it's not really something I've ever done much. What about GP5 gas mask? You keep saying GP5. Oh, that's good. So yeah, you can still get 25 to 30 FPS of good low light stuff. Because I was saying that's the important bit. Because on my Canon one, I'm pretty sure like the actual low light mode is probably like 10 FPS or something. Because I know like that mode is, it doesn't look right if you're like filming actual movement with it. It's probably fine for doing time lapse stuff with at night, but not for Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Should be quite interesting. What about no GP5? I've got GP5s. I just don't know if I've got one handy. I've got quite a few GP5s. If you watch my channel, you can see that. But yeah, I don't have one handy in the background. I need to be careful what I say on stuff like those, Vinny, just because of how weird UK law is on stuff like that. Cheers, Big Brain Gaming. But yeah, like it's the sort of thing I wouldn't mind doing videos on. I just need to be very careful. It's like stuff I can completely legally talk about without it sounding like I'm inciting people to maybe do stuff that's not legal. Do you get what I mean? Because the problem is with a lot of the self-defense things is like it's perfectly fine in the videos where you completely state what is legal and not legal. That makes complete sense to me and all that. The problem comes about with like the stuff that may or may not fall into a grey area, and then sometimes like they'll get the impression if you're saying that you're encouraging people to like exploit certain bits of the law. Thank you, Turgburgus, if that's how your name's pronounced. Yeah, cheers, Big Brain Gaming. Have a good day. Like I said, I'll only be on a couple more minutes because I'll do about 30 minutes on this stream and then I'll go off in case, like saying people end up calling over or whatever. I've already seen I've got like a notification on my phone that I've not looked at yet from somebody. So, as in not like an app type notification, but from an actual contact. So. Yeah, it sounds really interesting. Again, I'll have to see more like just a video of it in action to actually get more of an impression of it. But sounds good. But I do like the fact that, like we said before, that camcorders and cameras and everything are getting better at lower light stuff because it does mean that you're slowly sort of getting into the era where digital night vision might become a lot more practical. Because as much as I love old like cathode ray tube style night vision, for the mass production kind of thing of it, they're not ideal. Yeah, see you, Shabby. Right, I've been on half an hour now. If it's like one in your garden or whatever, and you live in a country where you're allowed to do pest control with an air rifle, and everything's all legal, then yes, air rifles are very good for like very small game, like rodent infestation sort of things. Ah, that sounds good. Yeah. Right, that's cool, side Randy. I mean, not like you felt you wasted your life or whatever, but wasted your 20s. But yeah, that's good. Glad for you. Yeah, just saying, just be careful because like the thing is, I always try and say on here because I'm doing stuff on YouTube where it's a public platform. Is obviously always make sure if you're doing something, it's legal in your country or like area or state or whatever, because it's impossible for me to know where everybody is, like where they're saying stuff from and like what laws are like in certain areas. So that's right, Vinny. But yeah, it's just like I'm saying, because in the UK, I know there's like lots of weird little bits with different laws. So, I don't want to sound like I'm encouraging somebody to do something if it's not legal. So, obviously, what I'd say is make sure you check out properly what the laws are in your country before doing anything. But if you mean, is a full power break barrel air rifle or whatever, something like that, good enough to, like with a hollow point, pellet in killer, like, a rodent infestation kind of problem, then yes. Yeah, in the Netherlands, hopefully, you might even be allowed more powerful air guns than we can get, because in the UK, if they're over 12 foot-pounds, they come under a firearms license, not actually just as an air gun. So it's one of those weird things where they, instantly change what they're classified as. So if it was 12.1 foot-pounds, it's suddenly considered an actual firearm, even though it's not a firearm by definition, but whatever, the government made that rule. Whereas, when it's 12 foot-pounds or 11.9 foot-pounds or whatever, it's considered an air rifle that you only need to be 18 to own and just be responsible with it. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's good, because yeah, that's the only thing I don't like with AI autofocus on some of the stuff is when like you have to keep using manual focus because the autofocus just keeps focusing on the wrong thing. Cheers, Uncle Ruckle. McFuckle. Anyway, like I said, I'll be off now just because I don't know if people are going to come round later today or whatever and do a surprise and give me presents or whatever. And I don't want to be a dick where like a relative comes round and I'm not here because I'm streaming. So then I just see like I've had a note left for me and a present sort of thing. Yeah, have a good day, everybody. And I will see you all, hopefully if I get time tomorrow or whatever, and just have a standard day then. But again, I want to get some YouTube content filmed on some stuff. I've just unluckily in the last week not really had any time or space to film a lot of stuff. So yeah, have a good day, and I will see everybody hopefully in the next couple of days. And I want to get, like I said again, get a normal video filmed over the next couple of days. It's just the last week's been a bit annoying for trying to get content filmed. Yeah, see everybody. Have a good day.